We're rolling.
Get busy.
What the hell?
Green room.
Can you hear that?
Absolute pros.
It's definitely not green. The green room.
We're going live, folks. We're going live.
Yeah. We're showing you the real us, zits and all.
Man, we're going live these days.
Killing it.
I like that filter better. It's a little too, what are you going to do? Not a filter, it's a light.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't do filters. Yeah. So.
No filter, bro, and you have to say hashtag.
Hashtag. No cap. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it's all about?
No, it's not. But I did see you had 2 links for today's podcast.
Yeah, because...
So why don't we... I'd like to know, and let's just share with the listener what happened there.
So because... I'm just curious, which one did you use?
I used the more recent one with
cool.
the slashes.
Yeah. I was going to say... yeah, because I could have said version 2, but no, it's just
second
slash.
effort or something, yeah.
Yeah, because what happened is I did the first one, and then I was like, I want to use my GoPro camera. Just because I have a GoPro, and I'm like, it takes better video. And so I set it up, but then I remembered as I'm setting it up, I'm like, I don't have enough inputs on my computer for USB-C. And so when I take out and then I'd have to take out my power, and this stupid computer will go dead if I do that.
Right.
So I set it up, and I was like, oh no, and I turned everything off to start a new session, and then I'm like, oh crap, I gotta redo it. But I think that first invite,
it probably still would have worked.
yeah, it seems like it does kind of work, but I don't know.
Carry over. Yeah, you need one of those USB hubs, which I have like 3 of them.
Yeah, I've got this, but
oh, there you go.
But
I have a honker.
I need a honker because this one's all USB, original USB,
right?
Not the USB-C. So I need a better. Really, what I need is a new computer. This thing's all my gear.
I'm loving mine.
My computer is just kind of. Wait, what did I say? My whole recording studio digital zone is kind of struggling these days.
Yeah. You got you. Do you use external drives for all your old music ideas? Yeah. That's good, except for I used to use USB drives that had motors in them.
Yeah. Yep.
And I lost a frightening amount of stuff, and I just couldn't get it recovered. I tried. So some of it was backed up in different places, but
right.
It's just always the struggle.
I know the ones that make all the noise that are like
yeah.
They freak me out.
That's what I
use these a lot now. Just
exactly.
You pop them in, and I've got a bunch of them.
Now I have the solid states, but
yeah.
I wasn't smart enough before, or this is 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. I used to always have the ones. I still have them. It's like, and it's the weirdest power adapter that you can never find. That's like, You're like, oh, which one is it? And they're like huge. They look like a freaking submarine, like. It's just
I have like drawers and drawers of adapters, everything you'd never ever need, like USB to carrot.
Yeah.
Anything. Just
I know. It's insane. I have big power adapter episode, guys. I've got this
strap on.
Yeah, another thing that I used forever, but it's one of these things that you can even look online, like people aren't even sure if it makes a difference. I had this Black Lion micro clock, which is a clocking system that you use externally from your recording, because in like all of our DAWs have their own clocking, and that's kind of what makes the whole thing run. And so I'd like read up on this, like, how can I make my recording sound better? And it's like, get an external clock. So I got this Black Lion clock, and it was just one of these things where I would plug it in, and I'd be like, yeah, I think I hear it, And so then I lost the power adapter, and now I'm just always looking at it. I'm like, should I just sell this thing? Like, I don't know. It's like,
I mean, what you do is you A/B your recordings, I guess, right? To ones when you used it or didn't.
I know. I just don't know. It's weird.
I bought some really high-end microphones, and I think it's to do with the other converters and the rest of the gear I'm using, because everything has to be completely top of the line for you to tell the difference. If you just like, I have a really nice, $7,000 microphone going into my Scarlett, which is $150. Yep. Yeah. So, and I couldn't tell any difference. So I just returned the mic until I'm ready to make the full upgrade.
Yeah.
But it was kind of bummer because those are some sexy mics. All that gear that's really high end, it's like,
oh, dude,
tasty. It's like a fondue.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like mid zone with my condenser mic. I've used the same one forever. I think I'm gonna use.
But that's a good one. I like that. I know which one you use.
I do like it. I'm gonna do a rock recording pretty soon. I might use this SM7B on it.
Just because I've heard good things for people using those, not just for broadcasting, right?
Like that band Failure. You ever heard of them? I've talked about them before. It's they're a big.
Probably Matt would know who they are.
He for sure knows. They're a very big. They have a huge like cult following. That like everybody. They say it's like
guitar players and drummers love them.
Yeah, and really like producers too, because their music is very sonically amazing. The guy Ken Andrews, he mixes a lot of bands. Like he mixed all the Paramore stuff, which is insane. And but he does all his vocals with a SM7B. So,
nice.
Yeah, and then he also mixes it. So that helps.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's funny talking all this techie stuff because Eddie, my buddy Eddie Kaipo, he's not messing around. He's been doing Atmos mixes. And do you know what
is that 5-speaker mixes?
Exactly. It's like more than 5. I think it's like basically surround sound. When you go to iTunes and you do like spatial audio, right? So you can like hear things moving all around. And he's like, dude, I want to do some of your songs in Atmos, and I'll just do it. I'll do it. I'll hook you up because I'm practicing.
Yeah.
And so he did Ashes. And he's working on another one too. But it's so crazy because it's hard to like preview them, because he had this list that was like a huge paragraph of like how I need to listen to it. And I was like, wait, what? How do I listen to it? And he's like,
maybe, so like my car, I think, is able to just play stuff that way.
Right. I think everything is, but you have to first you have to download it.
You need an external clock, bro.
You need a super nice external clock with a hard drive that looks like a submarine. And so anyways, I have this file that's like massive. It's like 3 gigs for one song. And I'm trying to figure out how do I even upload this? And you have to use, I can't use CD Baby because they don't do it, I guess. So
Are they still around, for God's sake?
Yeah, dude, I like CD Baby because they don't do yearly subscriptions. You just they're just like, you want to put up music, you pay super cheap, and I
used them for quite a while. I just didn't know something changed with them. I guess just the fact that they're not selling hard copies, which is fine.
I know. I guess it is named CD Baby, huh? I was using Tape Baby, but no, they.
Right, 8-track baby.
I think the guy that started it, he did get out, and it's not like a
right.
You could tell they're not trying to really make a lot of money anymore because it's so cheap. They're like, it's like $7 to do a whole album if you want. So it's really a great deal for the artist.
Is it a distribution system? Is that what's going on? It puts it on
all the
Spotify,
all
and
the
so
things,
forth?
and you can do the upgrades and do some sort of playlist and stuff.
But you talking about the how to listen to things in a nice Atmos or just top of the line stereo thing. I was reminded of which this is old school, but Steve Martin early comedy album. He's like, you guys, I bought a stereo. Okay. I bought a stereo. I was so excited to come home and listen to this. I got the nicest stereo I could. Sat back in my chair, turned on the music. Here we go. I just played it, and I thought, this sounds like shit. So I said, you know what? All right, I need to upgrade. So I went back. I got the quadraphonic system, not just 2 speakers. Now I got 4 speakers. Put them around the room. Carefully placed it at all the angles I needed. Now I was going to have what I need. So I sat down, hit play. This sounds like shit too. First one was shit 1. This is shit 2. So angrily, I go back to the store. Get rid of this crap. Now I need... All right, I'm not messing around anymore. The octaphonic system. I got 8 speakers. I had 2 on the ceiling, 2 under the floor. Had the house rebuilt. 8 speakers. Sound like shit. So I went and I got the highest number of speakers you can get. I got the Google Phonic Infinite speakers. Can't count how many there are. The whole house is a speaker. Speakers everywhere. Speakers on top of speakers. There's no way this can't sound good. All right. I am now sitting on a speaker. I'm made of speakers myself. I listen. And finally, it still sounds like shit. So I thought maybe it's the needle. That's the joke.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He takes you on this whole ride. Yeah. It was the needle all along. But that is, I think, a musician's joke in a way.
Yeah.
Because even, for instance, like you're trying to figure out how to get a true guitar tone.
Right.
And it's going through so many things, all your pedals, the amp, cables, the electronics within the guitar itself, everything.
Right.
It's so hard to figure out what it might actually be.
Yeah.
And you end up just having a whole new setup, new guitar, new everything.
Yeah.
Still sounds like
it still sounds like, yeah. Yeah. Seriously. And
but I love his little, just like, low impact way of saying the punchline. Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's the needle.
Maybe it's the needle.
Yeah. He just lets it sit there.
So good. So good. Yeah, with the Atmos thing, because I go back and forth with Eddie, and it's like all this. I'm obviously going to do it, and I love that he's doing it for me, because also it gives me an excuse to release it again, right? So it's like,
there you go.
It's like, here's my song again, but now it's in Atmos. Right?
Now in 5D.
Yeah. Now it still sounds like shit. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably
sit on a speaker.
Yeah, the next song, maybe it's the needle. That's what it's called. So it's really cool to have an excuse to keep putting something up. But it is also, it's kind of like new ground, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
that's great. That's okay.
And Eddie's telling me, he's like, and because what I was saying is like, I was like, honestly, I just think I like the mix of a song. I think a good mix is going to give you all the depth and stereo that any normal person's going to hear listening on their phone 5 feet away from them. Right. And he's like, yeah, I agree. He's like, but apparently this is like the future, it's all some
it could immersive. Be one of those things where we don't know what we're missing until we hear it.
Yeah.
I always say that about our bands, for instance, is you could go and see another band that maybe we secretly think is not quite as good, but people seem really happy. They love it, and that's great.
Right.
But it's maybe just because they haven't heard
exactly
something better.
Yeah.
And, hey, I like peanut butter and jelly. I never had a banana split.
Totally. Exactly. Yeah, true. Yeah, I like what I've kind of zeroed in on with this Atmos thing is I'm like, it's just like an alternate mix. It's cool to have an alternate mix.
There you go.
Because I'm like, you can hear these acoustic guitars where you couldn't hear it in the original.
But that's how you should maybe name it, or when you're kind of first putting these out.
Yeah.
I know it would help me to kind of say, oh, I want to listen to this to hear new things.
Right. Wait, was that you that was saying someone released 2 mixes of a song, a legendary artist, that he liked both mixes and they were drastically different, and so it was like the same. I thought it was like Peter Gabriel or someone, and he was just like, I love both of these mixes, and so there's this one and there's that one.
I love it. I got no problem with that at all. It's great.
But so the whole audiophile thing, it's like you can go so deep. With guitar, I'm always like, it's the guitar first, obviously the player first, but the guitar, man. Like people tell me, with like Kempers and stuff. Like, oh, it's so crazy. Like they got their tones all dialed in, but it sounds all weird. And it's like, well, what kind of guitar are they using? You know, it's like it really matters. Like you got to have
a Victoria,
BC Rich or whatever. Like,
BC Rich is great, dude. I used to, you know what I think of when I think of BC Rich? I think of like an 11-year-old kid, and he has like a guitar that looks like an angry spider. And it's like huge on him. And he's playing like, I don't know, some Ed Sheeran, and it's like looks like a fucking metal guitar. It's all black and huge. The headstock is like
seeing someone play, perfect example, Ed Sheeran on a BC.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
And it's just all, even trying to play clean, it's always out of tune and just like,
oh my God.
Like clank, 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 clonk, clink, clonk, clink, clink, clonk, clank, clank, clank. And then they'll be like, woo!
Yeah. Dive bombs.
So good, dude.
The club is the best place to find a lover. No, it's not that kind of version. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just trying to playing funky on a BC Rich or a Jackson. It's hilarious.
You know what though? I knew a guy who straight up pulled it off.
Yeah.
And it was my first band with all like 30-year-olds in it when I was like 17 in high school. Our band was called Tangerine.
Nice.
Yes, I'm aware of Tangerine Dream, but we were Tangerine. And and it was a totally different thing. And so I had all these men from Vallejo in my band that I bring to my white boy school, and they're all, you know, what's happening, talking to the like chicks in their, you know, Catholic skirts. And you want to, you know, go get some weed, you know, it's like,
just
the bass player
put it straight out there.
Yeah. Like, they're like, my name's Cheryl.
Yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Like, let's get some weed.
I'm gonna just beat the bush. Whoa!
Hey, check out my Jackson.
yeah.
I mean my guitar.
So he had a BC Rich, and it was a metal-y guitar, and it was weird because he was kind of into like 24/7 Spies and the ska kind of stuff. So
cool.
That was a crossover with funk and
yes,
like hard rock. Metal, and we were doing funk, so he just used that guitar, and somehow
it was funky.
You know, he used to use one of those old color sound wah.
Interesting.
Are you aware of those?
Never even heard of it.
That's the Prince used to use those.
Okay.
And you can't really find them. I don't think they make
every guitar player that listens to this is Googling this right now and buying one.
Good. Yeah, color sound.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a lesser known. And I know that Prince used a lot of Boss pedals, which I'm actually not that keen on.
Yeah.
Personally, they're fine, but
yeah.
Even aesthetically, I just don't love it.
Aesthetically is what kind of ruins it, because you immediately associate Boss. Come on. But yeah, I know those originals. Like, I got one right here. This right here. This one, which I don't use, but
yeah,
that's like the classic overdrive. It sounds great. This thing's but I don't use.
Well, they do sound great. They do, and you know, there's a ton of players to prove that. But another one he used, which is not made anymore and hard to find, you can look this one up too, is the DS1.
Yeah.
The DS2.
Yeah.
The distortion one, which is orange.
Yeah.
The DS1's also orange.
Yeah.
Have been around forever, but I don't know why they stopped doing the DS1. But I think it's closer to a, you know, the Ibanez
Tube Screamer.
Yeah,
vibes. A lot of guys. I think even Joe Satriani was like a DS1. But what eventually happens, I think, is those get so popular, and then the company goes, "This is great. Let's make another one and rename it, rebrand it." And then it eventually gets farther away from what that original one is.
Yeah.
And so
now with new electronics, that
made
make
out
it too pristine. It's not breaking up the same way.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. It's, you know, crazy stuff. Audio thingies. Dude, last week, I had 6 gigs, which it wasn't like a grind of 6 gigs, right? It was like pretty smooth. Mm-hmm. But by the time I got to the end of the week, I had 2 on Sunday, and I agreed to do this Hard Rock Cafe gig.
That's been a while,
dude. That I haven't done in forever. And I realized as I'm driving to this gig, knowing I have a gig right after it that's opposite end of the world, that I'm like, oh yeah, I used to always do this on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock with zero traffic.
Because Hard Rock thing.
Hard Rock, I would go against traffic in, and by the time I'm done, there's no traffic out. So I would just zip in and zip out, no problem. Perfect. But I was doing it Sunday, and it's like baseball games, and
dude,
it took me like an hour 45 to get in, and I'm just like, and I'm texting Clay,
and already you're like beat down. That's what traffic does to me.
Yeah, it turns something into like, oh yeah, this is like no big deal, into like, no, now we're talking
Odyssey.
Now we're talking like, it's half a day to play 2 hours. And so I'm like texting Clay as I'm like, why'd you talk me into this? Even though he totally didn't talk me into it. He mentioned it to me. He said, hey, they're doing the Hard Rock again, if you're interested. And this is, I guess, my point of this the subject of this is, I still can't turn down gigs for the most part. If I see a window, even though I'm like, I am totally fine with what I have right now. Like, I don't need anything else. I always am like, well, I do need something else. I might as well do that too, because I can, not thinking of like my mental state from doing it and why. Like, I know what that gig is, and I did it as a
young man. I was there once. Because I'm saying no, and I want to show you the other side is, of course, what you're afraid of. Sometimes you do just have a day off that you're normally, if I have a Friday off because I said no, I'm kind of like, it's a bummer in a different way.
Yeah.
But because then I think, well, I better use this time extremely, productively. And sometimes the balance that you needed was not to go hard.
Yeah.
And and then there's the money piece.
Right.
Nickel and diming does add up, but I end up spending money when I do little gigs just because I want to treat myself, or because it becomes an all day thing.
Right.
I'm just out and I'll have to go eat out or something. And so I don't know. Overall, I've been really turning down more, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's not to say I'm too good for anything. I guess it is, actually.
Yeah.
I do.
You don't need to do it.
Yeah, I don't need to do that. It's more that I want to spend my life. These are precious times, and I want to do, what do I want to look back and how I spent my time. And some of it is going to be work. A lot of it is. I work a ton, but which things? And I'm trying to think in the abundance way rather than scarcity. So I have to say to myself, I'm going to say no, because I believe something better is coming along, and tons of the time it does.
Right. Yeah,
and then I get to say that if something better didn't come along, the better still is there, which is spend time with my wife or kids, or go out for a run, do something else.
Yeah, it's good.
Read a book I've been meaning to, which now on the top on the list is the Sly memoir.
Oh yeah. R.I.P.
So we're gonna mention Sly Stone, which we just found out yesterday passed away. And it's unfortunately, well, I don't know, it's just the way it goes. There's so many people in the world, but it gets in vogue to talk about whoever died recently and kind of get on the bandwagon of honoring that person. But my dad went to grade school with Sly Stone.
No way.
Because we're from Vallejo, and he used to tell me about seeing him play trumpet. A lot of things that people really didn't know he could do. He could play everything.
Right.
And he was like a gifted virtuoso, everything from a super young age.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I watched the whole doc on it that Questlove made on him,
Oh, wow.
On Sly. And so, I don't know what the book really is, if it's truly like coherent Sly, stories or whatever. I'm sure it's great, but definitely he's a huge influence, and just being kind of positive to that level with no shame, I think is rare, because it's not cool to be kind of joyful a lot of times.
Right.
And I don't know. I think some of the things I grew up with, I'm lucky for that. Michael had some of that, Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Like a joy thing. And it's a lot of my favorites in other fields. It's because of that. Like Steph Curry, ball player for the Warriors.
Yep.
One reason he's my favorite is the joy piece. And I want to hold on to that, or keep kind of reinvigorating that in myself. And Sly would be someone who did that. Actually, this podcast does it for me too.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
For real. And so, but I want to acknowledge that about Sly. And so he has like slightly lesser known songs like "You Caught Me Smiling Again."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard that.
I probably have.
Oh, dude.
I was
just so cute.
I was not funkier, but funk was my jam for years and years and years in my 20s. And so I listened to all that stuff.
Me too.
Yeah,
exactly. So, I went through all his catalog, and when I say cute, I hope it's not heard as belittling his brilliance, because that's everything about it. But he just had his unique way that was playful, and free, just absolutely free.
Yep.
And and then becoming a Prince fan later, I could hear all that influence of just kind of a conversational storytelling that's kind of got character to it, and like, this kind of,
Yep.
And I mean,
and they took
no one like him.
He took he took like funk and R&B and kind of rocked it too, to where, I mean, I remember hearing about Miles Davis, saw him, and it changed his life. It changed his trajectory of what
all his albums after that you hear sound kind of like that direction.
I think it kind of messed Miles up, because he's like, oh, like jazz is dead. Like I need to do that. And so he went on his whole like fusion train of like,
but he ended up changing jazz as a result.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Which is,
but
I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Just seeing someone break it open like that, I'm gonna have to put some on after this and listen.
Oh, for sure.
More.
Yeah, but try you caught me smiling.
Yeah, cool.
That's a nice one.
Nice, man.
And you could tell it's just him being free. I think I said this, but maybe an episode or two ago. But it's like a rent-free little phrase for me, which is songwriting is free association.
Yep.
And every time I think that, it frees me from being too precious about it, or thinking I have to have this complete concept to do something. It never has been. I almost always, I mean, I'll have ideas for things, but a lot of times it's just sitting down and connecting the dots as they appear, wherever they're going. And it shouldn't be, I think, so much result oriented.
Right. I love that. Yeah.
So, and then Sly's music feels that way to me.
Yep.
Like he's totally not in his own way in that prime period.
It kind of lets you know, like, oh yeah, you can do that, like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's because you listen to so much. I listen to everything, and I go down different rabbit holes, and sometimes when you get caught into listening to too much, I mean, it's crazy to say, but too much music that's insanely popular.
Yeah.
Especially now or in the past 20 years, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's art, but at the same time, it's like, oh no, they're doing a thing. There's a system behind this.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful the way you can do it, but it is a pattern. And then you hear someone that's just creating their own system, where you're like, oh yeah, that's where everything really is coming from.
Boom.
Someone just found one that really works and went like, this is now our new system, right?
Or no one really caught on to it, and it's just a shooting star.
Yeah.
And that's, man, it's, I guess, a priority or a reason or an intention, like why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And there was some point in me where, I mean, I still like to make something catchy.
Right.
Because that's just what I like.
Yeah.
But I do want to stay away from being too formula. If I,
right.
You know, if I want to chop one measure out of something, or you know, have a left field chord happen or change.
Right.
I want to not question it one bit.
Totally.
Which I don't.
Well, like your last song you sent me, that's amazing. You've got that, whatever that chord is, it's like you threw in an extra minor or something.
Yeah.
And it's it works so perfect, you know, but
man.
If someone just gave me like the root notes and said, here's my chord progression, right. I would have naturally probably played maybe a major. I don't know exactly what it was.
It does.
But you did the minor, and I'm like, oh, that's nice, dude. That's super cool.
That's also Beatles' thing, because, okay, we're going to just tweak for a minute here. I want to share. I'm just kind of glad you brought it up. But so the beginning, which is the intro, starts with F major to B major, or F major 7 to B major. So you're hearing
that's
that,
tritone.
You're thinking this is where that's going.
Or B flat. Yeah. B flat major or B?
I'm sorry, it's B flat.
Okay, yeah.
B flat. Yeah, sorry. Thank you so much.
Let me put my glasses on.
No, you're right. And I sometimes just being in a hurry, but yeah, it's B flat major. Yeah. And so you're hearing that really kind of direction and tonality. And then when the verse comes in, the B flat goes to a B flat minor.
There we go.
6, actually.
Yeah.
But that's why it gives you that color, and it does strike you because it's the bass still playing a B.
Yeah,
I mean, you're almost thinking, like, why does this feel different?
Yep.
And so those are those revelations, and you go with it. And I had to change the melody I was singing to work with that, because I liked that so much.
That's cool. I love having those. It's crazy, these ideas or mantras or whatever that you keep in your head that keep you sane and keep you going. Mine, that I swear always comes back to me, and this is funny, it's too short. Get in where you fit in. I just think of it all the time. I always just go like, man, you just got to get in where you fit in. You know, it's like everybody's different. Everybody's got a different thing. You know, when you try,
I see that working for you in your life. Totally.
Yeah, because like my story's different than a lot of people that I thought, you know, like you're like going after, like I want to be like that, or and it's like, no, like I'm different, you're different.
Yeah.
You just gotta fit in where you can fit in, you know.
No one can be like you more than you.
Exactly. And so I hold on to that one a lot, where I'm just like, nah, you just got to do what you do, you know. And that works for me. It keeps me going, you know.
Oh yeah, and I love these.
Yeah.
Well, listener, if you have a mantra thing you say, we love to hear from musicians or non-musicians, whatever.
Yep.
But I love to hear what someone else says to themselves,
right,
to kind of affirm their identity.
Totally.
Or just to take the next step.
Yeah, and these things, telling them to other people really help, because I don't know that someone said that to me, but that's the one that I created out of what other people said to me about stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was one that the manager of Fantasy Studios, when I used to intern there, I was just in a really weird spot, and I would see these great artists come through, and I was interning. I was just really down on my like career, you know, like playing. Yeah. And I was talking to him, kind of, I think probably just beating myself up, talking about guitar playing. And he was just like, man, he's like, everybody is a different guitar player. He's like, only you can do what you do. And he's like, only that guy can do what he does. And this is someone that's seen everybody come through there. It's like, they've seen Green Day, they've seen Neil Schon, Joe Satriani. And he's like, dude, everybody's different, man. Everybody's a different guitar player. And I really held on to that. I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. You know?
Yep.
And then another one is our buddy John Mader, drummer. He used to always say, and probably still does say, he's, you know, whenever you're talking about music, he's just like, just don't quit. Just keep playing. Just keep playing. Just don't quit.
Yep.
You know, as long as you keep going, like you're gonna do something. Just don't give up, basically. So, yeah, I love those.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps me to think of things as not results oriented.
Yes.
Because I do get too precious or stuck on something.
Yeah.
And instead of the, like Clark Griswold said, you know, getting there is half the fun. Like just playing and writing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be hardcore about it, you say writing for the trash can.
I love that.
That way you really free yourself and you go, hey, I don't give a shit. I am a songwriter, so it's just what I do anyway.
Yeah.
And not everything Sting ever wrote, he released.
Yeah. Same with everybody. Yeah, it's like the whole idea of just like the journey is the thing, you know? And just kind of like, I try and tell my kids, even though they're young, I'm like, you know, just getting lost in the work of things. Yeah. That's what it's about.
It's the best.
Because it's the best. Everybody, you're going to finish everything eventually. And it's like, just get lost in doing it. And when I actually do that myself, life is so much better. like where I'm just like, just the little things even like, oh, I need to do the dishes. But if I just get lost in just doing them, like one step at a time, it's like, oh, and now I'm done. And there's that. Like,
that's I wonder if that's how you approached your big momentous runs and shit.
Dude, 100%. You know? Absolutely. Yeah. You definitely don't think about the end, you know?
Yeah, or how far you still have
how to go, far you've gone. I think that seems like I was a different person then, but when I did the longest one, I went zero music because
you said that. Even that was crazy.
Even that was it was dividing things up in a way that was just too much. I needed to think like longer and like, you know, it was just
timelessly maybe even.
A little bit. And you just draw out these. That's the beauty of running, I think, is you really get deep into thought, like where you're just I'll think about something so hard. And just so slowly, honestly, like it's just slowly thinking about something over
for real
over a long.
It's how I also fall asleep.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, that's a funny correlation, but it's kind of hard to think hard or slow about something when you have the following happen. So I was running yesterday morning, and I just like to know what people think because. What this person did is actually good, and I wanted to kill them. So I'm running, and from behind me, I hear a kid's voice go, "On your left!" And I'm glad, you know, I want to be warned, I guess, that someone's coming, but there's two things I don't like about it. One, you know, I prefer the cling, cling.
Yeah.
If you don't have that or that you're not even riding or using the kind of transportation that has that, fine, figure something else out. But on your left is fine. Usually people say it kind of bossily.
Yeah.
And so this kid, I'm like, who in the fuck do you think you are?
he does a wheelie past you. You know, the kids are always doing wheelies.
Yeah, or he passes you on your right.
Yeah.
He's like, psych! You know. On your left, fucking bitch.
Yeah.
You know.
For some reason, he sounds like Blink 182. On your left,
on your left. Yeah.
Running too slow. On your right.
Move over, you ho. Yeah. Dude, I was like so bothered for about a minute after that. Because he just like, he totally like went by me, you know?
Come on.
Fast, you know? He's all like, fucking eat my dust, fucking old man, you know?
Dude,
I did notice too, like, what were you going to say?
Oh, well, there is, at least there's that. Sometimes people, they don't obey the traffic rules of running.
Right.
And I think we've talked about this before, where it's like, you're running and they just won't get out of the way. And you're like,
they're coming toward you.
They're coming straight at you, and you have to run off the road or
you're
trail.
Like, is this London? Or are you just insane?
Am I on the wrong side? Are we not playing by the same rules or whatever? But
yeah, I know.
I saw this is it's horrible. But when's the last time, as an adult, like us guys, When's the last time you like fell down like really hard?
Wow. I'm gonna try to think of that, but in the meantime, I have a hub story that has to do with that.
Okay, well, I have a story that is the reason I thought of it, and it also involves running. I can't remember falling, dude. So I was just driving, whatever, down the street, and this poor guy, dude, he was on a skateboard actually, and his dog was pulling him, and I just happened to look. I just looked to my left. Right when he hit a rock or something, and he's a guy probably my age, bigger than me, big guy, full flop on the asphalt, dude. And he it wasn't like a flop and ouch and like tried to crawl. He was like flop and just on the ground face. I was like, oh my God, do I need to stop for this guy? But like I saw him just looking up at his dog like, man.
Lick me, do something.
Why'd you pull me like that? But I'm like, dude, he's gonna be hurting for a while from that, you know, like,
and the shame hurt is possibly more.
Shame, dude, totally,
dude. So my dad, I saw him one day and he had like a scrape on his face. I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm like, what happened? He goes, I fucking tripped. And I'm like, what happened? So he was like running across the street with traffic and he wanted to get to the other side quickly. And just on the other side of the street is 2 poles with a hanging chain.
Oh my God.
Okay. Can you imagine that? It's kind of like what would be a stanchion,
clothesline,
but it's a chain.
Yeah.
No, it's like down by your knee.
Oh, ouch.
Level.
Yeah.
Right. So if you maybe don't see it.
Right.
If you're not looking. But I think what he tried to do was jump the chain.
Oh shit!
And forgot he was white. And the tip of his foot caught it, and he just went like, across. And he just had like a raspberry chin, you know. And but I know what pissed him off more was just like the 8-year-old girl with the balloon going like, "Oh my God, what happened to him?" You know, that's fucked up or whatever.
He's just like,
on your left, you know.
There's a chain there.
Yeah, you dumbass. It's like, Mom, is that guy retarded? You know. Oh, sorry, that was a bad word. But that guy seems like he's got mental challenges.
Oh my God.
I'm always canceled on fuck.
You know, that is horrible. Have you seen the freaking Kill Tonys on Netflix
I've been hearing about it and I haven't watched it yet.
Because I know retarded is not a word you're supposed to say, but him as Trump, and he calls I'll
have to watch
he
this.
calls Elon, because Elon's there too. It's obviously not Elon, it's obviously Trump. Right. It's Shane Gillis and who's that other funny guy? But he goes to Elon, he goes, he's a real genius, you know. I'm pretty sure he's retarded. He's like my retarded Avenger. He's out there fighting crime. And it's funny that now they're like totally fighting.
Except for now, they're like enemies.
Yeah, but
all of a sudden.
Oh, that Kill Tony shit is like, if you
Is it good? Is it like I think you should leave kind of stuff?
No, it's basically stand up, and they just bring people out that don't know that they're going to go on stage, and they go, give me 30 seconds, give me a minute of stand up, and then after they either just beat them down how bad it was, or they say, yeah, that was pretty good.
But is it like The Voice where the person's standing there getting the feedback?
Yeah.
So it's basically comedy, The Voice.
It's kind of like comedy / roasting.
I see.
So it's pretty uncomfortable, honestly, because that Kill Tony dude, he does not hold back.
Oh,
but
that's one of the people's name on there.
Yeah, I don't know his real name. Tony Hinchcliffe. Is that right? Does that sound right?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a little skinny guy. Anyways, it's worth a watch just seeing Shane Gillis do Trump. He is so good, dude. So good at Trump.
So people go on there and I imagine they're thinking, I want to just expose my comedy and I'll go ahead and take the roasting.
Yep.
That's kind of
that's what it is, I think.
That's cool.
And it's kind of like a lottery. It's like you might go on, you might not. So be ready, but you might not even make it. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, no, we can't say that word though.
Nope, so I'm really sorry.
Yeah. On another subject, I saw Jamie Brown 2 times last week.
What?
Yeah, because we played that Wednesday, and we actually.
Oh, and then you did a Fred.
No, and then I did a Novato show, and he was there.
Oh,
and so
okay.
Everything was tying in last week because last week was Fartstival, right? The Greater Aid Fartstival, and then I happened to do a Fartstival that Saturday, and it was man, full on. Novato knows how to festival. If anybody's gonna festival,
oh yeah, that's a good one.
It was
you get
awesome
a
festival.
motorhome backstage.
We got a nothing home. We gotta just stand in the back. There wasn't anything back there, but it was a really awesome festival. It was one of those where like I was not mentally prepared to play a show that big. Like I was like, I was just driving there like, yeah, okay, white art and wine. Like we'll pop in there and it'll be
it's like
massive. I was like, holy crap! Like,
oh wow, there's 3,000 people. Yeah.
Like I was honestly like, I'm glad I changed my guitar strings, even though nobody cares. Yeah. Like it makes me feel better about myself. Mm-hmm. like going up there with like rusty strings. Like, oh my god, what am I doing? But and there was like, there's always these guys there. In Novato, I feel like I've seen them. Where else have I seen them? I think they make it out to like the farther out one that's like Montgomery Village. The guy that dances and he's like boosh, boosh.
I remember him. I totally remember him. He does like karate.
He does karate moves, and it's just like he is so in the moment. Like
I can picture him too. He has like kind of 80s feathered hair.
80s feathered hair. He almost looks like Ed McMahon or the wrestling guy, if you can picture that, like
Ed McMahon, the wrestling guy.
Or who's the head of the wrestling thing that was like?
I don't know, but Ed McMahon is like a
not
heavy set bald
not
dude,
the clearance
or not bald,
not the paycheck guy, not the publisher. Who's
him.
the Vince McMahon? Vince? I don't know.
But he's got like a full head of hair, right?
Yeah.
Like
about
50 maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe, who else am I thinking of? Yeah, he kind of looks like the wrestling guy. I can't remember his name, but Vince? I don't know. Whatever.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but this dude,
know what you mean.
Anyways, our friend that dances, he dances so committed.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was doing his thing, and Jamie was like right behind him with a Modelo, like, bro.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, Jamie's the greatest.
Yeah.
And, well, it's funny you brought up Montgomery Village. It was in Santa Rosa?
Yeah, or like Windsor?
And it's
Santa
no
Rosa.
Longer. I think since COVID, they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And I've done it with you guys, with TL. I've done it with Mustache. It's great. They do bus in special needs people, and it's such a great vibe. They're dancing. It's really free. It's really loving. And then families come, and also like ex-wrestling managers who dance like karate moves. I mean, it's a lot of... there's that lady who also like is an Energizer bunny. Do you remember her?
She's just like hopping the whole time.
Yeah. She's kind of like doing a punching dance, and she's like brunette and kind of like she's going like for like 2 hours straight. She's just punching the air and like yeah, I like it. I'm like, this is a ballad. No, but do you remember her?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah. She's got like leg warmers maybe, and she's just into it. But I miss that, and Neon was slated to do that the next year, and I always felt like an unfinished thing. And it so happens I just spoke to one of the guys, the guy who used to book it, and he just said on to different things now. They're not gonna bring it back. No plans. But I thought it was in the middle of kind of an indoor-outdoor mall for the listeners.
That's right.
It has like a lot of ivy plants around. It was kind of a unique atmosphere.
Yep.
And you almost could watch the show from any angle around the stage. You could be behind either side or in front of, because you're kind of in the middle of a compass almost,
right?
With all other pathways toward the stage open. You could go anywhere. So it kind of made that fun. You could just go around to back by the drummer and look at people back there and say hello. And then the best part is the steakhouse.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, we would all go to like a fat dinner, which they would hook up.
Yep.
At this, I mean, to me, it seems like it might be a 5-star. That place was so good.
Yeah, it was good. I remember that was the only time that I played bass with Tainted Love one time.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I wasn't there for that.
Oh, my God. It was
for the whole show.
For a couple tunes, because Jason was like, he's like, dude, I'm going to be late. Like, you know, and it was like,
maybe I was there.
And I was like, no, I think I could, I'll just play bass. It'll be fine. And we purposely played songs that had a lot of synth bass on the tracks.
Right.
And so, and I pick up Jason's
bass. You're like
bass.
clashing like crazy.
I pick up Jason's bass, and it was like all these knobs and pedals. And I swear to God, there was like a security password, like to try and like get it. I was like,
that sounds very much.
I was like, I do not understand how to play this bass. Like, what is this bass? Like, it wasn't like a regular bass. I was like, I don't know how to work this bass. And I always joke, I'm like, Jason does that on purpose. Like it's all like, he enters a code. He's like, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. And then it's like regular bass.
There's a camera on it. It's all like, the voice says like, put me down.
Yeah. It's all, like he looks his eye, the retina screen, you know, it's like, Muscat confirmed.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, it says password, please. And he goes, your family. You have to walk slowly toward it, bobbing your head.
He's like, dude.
So cool.
Yeah. So I couldn't play bass for shit on that. I was like trying to play, like get into the groove, and everyone's like,
oh, that's a hard one, dog.
I thought I could do it.
Oh my God, that's the one.
I was like,
that shit's hard.
I was like, C C C C C C C C boo 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 do boo boo doo doo doo, and everyone's like, you are not good at bass, dude.
No. I was like, why are you turning this into a Brian Adams song?
I was like, well, if you just gave me like a P bass, dude, I could probably do it.
But that shit is like one of the hardest bass lines.
Yeah.
It's like that and the I Want to Dance with Somebody are really active lines.
That's one. I Want to Dance with Somebody is definitely, if you've never played that song on bass, like that's like I Want to Clam with Somebody, you know, it's like you could.
These are synth based songs, right? They're not even bass in the track.
Yeah.
In the real song.
Yeah.
So what Jason does on those songs is remarkable.
Yeah, it's crazy because he totally. So. I think Jason even has a YouTube video like doing like it get into the groove, and I think it's just all about his tone. He's like check out my tone, and it's got like tons of views on it.
Yeah,
you know? So,
I bet, dude. Yeah. Rightfully, it's just
pretty cool.
The word is remarkable. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, man. So. Dude, we're doing a video tomorrow.
Yeah, speaking of seeing each other often, we got your video tomorrow, which I'm utterly stoked about. We got the shoot. We're gonna just knock it. The shoot.
Yeah.
And then Saturday.
Nice. Saturday is
I'm with TL
what is that, like SF?
It's like a private and SF or something.
Yeah, and you know every musicians are.
And you know what, dude? There's a protest that day.
Oh boy.
So I want to kind of bring that up to anyone.
Thanks for letting me know.
Band or just who's around in SF. Like I'm going to want to get there very early, just in case, and bring phone chargers, snacks, like, nice. And because my wife was the one looking out on that, I probably wouldn't even have known.
I definitely
just in case,
know.
And it might all be for nothing, but
right.
You know, in case they stop the traffic or something.
Holy moly. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave, our sound guy, was... I don't know if he's joking or if he's being serious, ever. I never know if he's serious or joking. He's just like... He's like, well, all right. I guess I'll see you on the next clusterfuck of a show that we're going to do. And I was like, what? I was like, what's the show? He's like, I don't know. It's some freaking thing. And it's like 5 stories and this and that. I was like,
I love him. Love him to pieces. And you know what? Somehow he's 100% kidding and 100% serious. It's like he is capable of that.
Exactly.
He's like, this food sucks. It is so good.
Yeah. You are the worst chef I've ever seen. And I would like you to come to Hollywood with me.
Yeah. All right. Dude, Key and Peele have one of those things.
That's where I pulled. That's where I got that. That's like the best thing. And he's like, I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me, chef.
He's like, I'm telling you the obvious, which is you are the worst at being the worst.
Yeah. You need to pack up your knives. I'm sorry, chef, because you're coming with me and we are going to cook more food.
He's like, yeah. He's like, so you can learn to cook because you still don't know how. The guy's like, oh, sorry. He goes, it just keeps going back. Dude, it is so, they're so good.
They are so good. Like,
God.
They pick up on an essence of something, because if you've ever watched Top Chef, they do that to him, where it's like, it's all doom, doom, doom. You know, it gives them, oh man, I love it. So good. So good. Do you play Sweet Caroline when you play solo?
Of course.
Okay.
I like tips.
I like that song. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
When I play at the lounge, the bartender hates it, and so I don't do it there.
Yes.
But everybody loves it. So here's the deal, though. Sweet Caroline, right? You do the first chorus, you get a nice ba ba ba, and you get a nice so good. Mm-hmm. When it comes around again, the second one's always weaker, right? It always gets weaker.
Yeah, I have a whole comedy bit about that. Well, I'll call it comedy, but so and there's a few songs like that.
Right.
There's other ones too. And that's true of, I think, most sing-alongs.
Right.
And so I end up challenging them to get louder, and I'll say,
good job.
Or are you too old and lazy? Are you too drunk? I'll say that sucked and stop playing, literally. And just like challenge them to do it louder. But I don't play it every time. I do kind of feel out if it's going to have the impact. Because I won't just throw it out there every time just because.
Yeah. Yep.
But any chance to sing baritone, I'm going to take.
Yeah, it does feel good to get a little in there. It's, even though I can't get that low, but I can get low enough for that one. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just move on. And I will say something that I thought was funny in the moment and got a good little chuckle out of the last place I played at Marina, where you actually came and saw me one time, and Disco Band.
Yeah.
Awesome place. The owners are great. It's a beautiful setting. They always have insane tequila. And those owners are super, like, bad influences. They'll be like,
oh, yeah,
Jeff,
I love it.
Vanitha's, she's from India. Jeff, let's have some tequila. You know, like, that was a horrible accent. But she's like, you have to have some. And I'm like, no, I got to drive. But then they'll usually get me for one, when I take my break. Like, come on. So and the tequila is always really good. So I took a little sip of tequila, and then I played my second set, and I told them, I said in the mic, I was like, well, because of that tequila shot, I just want you to know that you kind of voided your warranty on this show. And they're like, oh
yeah, hell yeah. All bets are off.
Yeah, so that was my joke. That was my one joke of the week.
I like it.
Okay, so, man, where am I at on my Yarnars? Here's one. Not sure if I've done it. And I've asked Clay about this. We need to seriously get like an intern to go through all 60 whatever episodes.
Right.
And
make a list.
And make the list, because I can't do it. It's just too hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one is tricky. I've talked about this, I think, with Muscat before. Yarnar. Musicians that get a lot of praise for doing super unique kind of instruments that maybe would be better as just one inch. Like, okay, so here's an example. Like someone that plays like a guitar that's also a bass. Mm-hmm. And it's like, holy crap, that's amazing. He's playing freaking whatever.
Guitar and bass
at the same time. But then it's the way I kind of think in the cynical way is like, man, if you separated just that guitar, it's like meh. And if you separated just the bass, it's kind of meh.
Right.
But the fact that they're doing this little circus
sort
trick.
of like what's happening that's being celebrated isn't really a musical thing.
It's a look at him do this
like
and like what is it? Where you like clap your hands,
rub your stomach and slap your head. Whatever.
So, is that something that's, I don't know. Is that a yar or nar? Do you yar it or do you nar it?
What's another? Do we have any other examples?
Another example, I guess, would be like musicians that, in my opinion, kind of spread themselves super thin, where it's like, yeah, he's an okay bass player, but he's also an okay drummer, but he's also an okay singer, and he's also an okay this. And it's
so
like,
me.
No, dude, you're a legit frontman for sure. No, like someone that's like, they're, I guess, just it's not one thing that's actually like really good. It's because they do so many things where it's like, oh, but he can also do this and he can also do that and also do this, like a jack of all trades and master of none kind of a vibe.
Yeah. I yar it. I mean, not because it's nothing to do with me, but I think it takes all kinds. I'm not just trying to be politically correct, but I think it takes all kinds, and a person like that is bound to do something different. I mean, I almost could argue it the other way and say, like, a specialist is not gonna generally be a songwriter.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah, I'm kind of putting myself
and that's
in
nothing wrong with that either.
I'm because I do play a lot of things too. I think my more zeroed in Yarnar is maybe the circusy tricky people.
Yeah,
that are doing.
Okay,
they're like with like doing like 5 instruments and like.
Yeah, and what I would use as the example is that kind of person with cymbals between their knees and a big kick drum on their back.
Yeah. Like the Vegas
I have
guys.
to yar it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to yar it. I just think like
it's impressive.
It can be what it is. There's that kind of flower in the world.
Right.
There's that kind of I mean, no, I don't probably consider it in the same way if someone was just shredding or a songwriter that I like, but
in the moment,
just there's that thing.
There was a guy.
And it gives you a laugh, maybe, or I mean, I could say, you know what I think is those acoustic guitar players you see online that are doing a lot of like slapping the guitar itself and like a lot of rhythmic, like and they're playing rhythm guitar with it, but it's really percussion.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
That stuff's crazy. What's that? Marcello something, like he's a freak.
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of me is like, I'm really tired of it in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And so I imagine going to see that person in concert, and it would just start to feel like it was, for me at least, maybe missing some depth or songs or something.
Yeah.
But that's just what I like. Somebody else might go,
sure.
I mean, I love it, and also I like hacky sack.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I saw a guy in Vegas one time that was at a bar, and he was playing guitar, and he was playing the drums like with both feet. He had a kick and a snare and like a freaking dog bark and a whatever. And it was amazing what he was doing. Yeah. And honestly, it made me like turn my chair and go, whoa, like almost every song, like, whoa. Yeah. And so that is cool. That's definitely cool. And I think about it a lot. I'm like, damn, dude, like that's pretty cool. But like, am I going to spend my time practicing that?
That's what it comes down to. Cause you know what? I'm just reminded, we played the Walnut Creek Art and Wine, another one of those. And there was a guy, I wish I could remember his name because he's really talented, but he was on another stage. We went and watched him for a few minutes. He was doing the loop thing. Yeah. But everything, like he had a little one of those kick drum things with no drum. It's just kind of hitting a beater that's got a trigger. Yep. And he was doing that. He had a octaver on his guitar, so he played a bass line, went over to the keyboard. He just kept looping things. Yep. And, you know, there are a handful of people that do that really well. He's one of them. Yeah. And he had one of those Roland, like 5-pedal sample boards, so you can actually play different parts
doing
within
the whole
a song.
thing.
Because one challenge is the way you and I think, do it. You have one loop. So you have one chord progression. You're not going to switch to a bridge. Yeah. But he had all that going. Yeah. But my thought was like, man, it probably takes a week to get a song down.
Yeah.
And it better work.
Yeah.
Or you better love the song, and you're going to be stuck with it kind of for a year, if you ask me.
Totally.
With, like, the amount of time.
Yeah.
Because if let's say you get a whole set of those together, which is fewer songs, right? Because it takes longer to build it. So let's say your set is 12 or 15 songs instead of twice that.
Yeah.
And so, dude, if you get tired of one of them, or if one of them's not working, you got a lot of work to do to fill that 10 minutes.
It's not like, so anyways, here's freaking Sweet Caroline. Yeah.
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 So actually, I respected that, but it's like not for me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, totally. And so I'm going to yar my whole thing, I guess, because it's people doing something else.
Even though Muscat obviously nars it.
Yeah.
He's like, where's the keypad that says this is my guitar?
Yeah, totally. You know? And then it actually reminded me, our buddy Clay, he submitted a yar and r, and it was vocal harmonizers for solo performers.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I going to yar it because I use it occasionally, and I think if you do it kind of tastefully, I'm not trying to hide it, but you want it to sound good, so you want it to be kind of sound baked in the mix a little bit,
right?
But I have heard people literally say, "What do you got going on there?" Or "Hey, that's cool, you got the harmonizer." Like, they're bringing up the fact that. And to me, it's a passive-aggressive way of saying, like, I noticed that shit's fake, you know? But to me, it's just like another toy and a thing to, beef out some arrangements or just have fun with.
Yeah.
And you could set it to where it's, there's certain songs that it can be really effective on. Like, I will use the actual 2 parts, so you have, like, full 3 parts happening. An example might be... Dreams.
There you go.
With Mac.
Yeah.
It's just sounds cool to go into that, and it's such a kind of a monotone song.
Yeah.
That just kind of wakes it up.
Yeah.
It's just a fun thing.
Yeah.
So I yar it, but I understand how it can be cheesy.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not turning like Friends in Low Places into like Daft Punk.
Yeah, everything's the Brady Bunch Club.
Yeah. I bought one, a used one on Reverb, and it didn't work for some reason. And so to me, that was like the universe saying, "Not for you, bro." So
yeah. I'm not going to harmonize shit in the first place.
Yeah. I'm not in harmony with my pedals. Yeah. You got anything?
I don't.
Okay.
Man, I mean, not on the yarn tip.
Yeah, I think we're good, dude. We'll wrap it up for this week.
Get ready for the video, people.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be
video.
Amazing.
We'll keep our ears out. I don't know. Do you have a release date?
Not yet.
In mind?
Not yet.
Okay.
Once I edit the video, then I'll be able to look at it.
Nice.
Cool, man.
All
Adios.
right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
We'll be
talking. All
right. There's the song.
Green room is probably not clean. The green room, it's definitely not green. The green room.
Green room coming at you, yo.
More ice. If you're not in the band, you can't get
Yeah. Okay.
On your left.